Hello, welcome to this late third trimester practice. Could be good to do anytime as well. One thing I wanted to mention before we get started, if your baby is in a breech or transverse position, some of the deep squatting and movement that can really engage the baby deeper into the pelvis, you may not want to do. So talk to your provider about it or just skip those postures. You could squat on a chair, something a lot higher than going deeply down into the full squat. And some of the postures where we're doing like a half squat and moving around, you may want to back out of those a little bit as well. Just in the with the chance that your baby may still flip if that's something that you're trying to do. Okay, so we're getting started in a child's pose. So bring the knees wide. Often in late pregnancy, the some support under the seat could be nice. So if you'd like, put a pillow or some blankets under your seat. You may also need higher height. If one bolster or cushion is not enough, you may need to line up more blankets or pillows on top so that your bottom doesn't swing up to the ceiling. Okay. And then as you're ready, take your chest to the bolster. Lengthen the seat down. And if it feels okay for you, rest one side of your head. Lengthen down through your seat. Let the eyes soften closed. And begin to get right into your internal space. Notice your breath here. Notice how the breath begins to align, begins to deepen as you watch it. Gently breathe into your low back and hips, up into the middle back, up into the upper back. Take a few exhales with the mouth open like an H.A. haw. Even let your tongue hang out a little bit. Do a few more of those. Remembering that connection from your tongue, jaw, down through the pelvic floor region, allowing each place to soften and relax. As the tongue and jaw relax, signal to your pelvic floor region to also soften and relax inner thighs. Let your exhales fully complete, signaling to your whole system that it's okay to relax, it's okay to drop down. If your head is turned one way, gently turn it the other direction. And you may need to continue to remind yourself, which is completely normal if the mind wanders, to come back into the breath. So really, this practice is so much about cultivating the awareness to know when we've gotten out of the body, when the mind and body have become what feels like separate. Bringing the mind back into the body where it lives, where we can observe all the sensations in the body, where all of our internal resources lie. Take a few more breaths here. Acknowledge your baby if you haven't already. Breathing with for your baby. Relaxing with your baby, also allowing them to get into their relaxation state. Such a powerful skill to already begin practicing. As your exhale completes here, slowly begin to bring yourself out. Wonderful. Remove your bolsters and pillows. You may want, if you're on a hard floor, take a blanket under the knees, come into table. Spread the fingers wide. Let's take some circles of the hips. Take the knees as wide as it feels like you need right now. Keep the hands a few inches out in front of the shoulders. Continue to notice the breath, the rhythm of the breath. Full inhalation. Full exhalations go the other direction. And remembering here too that anytime our pelvis is in this shape in a table or standing, leaning over a chair or a couch or anything at all, this position is nice, especially if you're feeling some pressure in the back in labor, and it's a good one to help the baby get into its optimal positioning for labor. And then from here, let's pause in the middle, swing your tail to the left and then peek out to the left. And do that on the other side, tail to the right, peek to the right. And do that a few more times at your pace, allowing the sides of your belly to stretch a little bit down there by the pelvis as well. All of these kind of movements are good to do as we're getting ready for labor and even in labor. But trust your body that you will know what to do. Suggestions feel appropriate. Great. And then from here, we're going to come on up to a chair, okay, or anything that you have nearby. So take your time getting up. Sit near the edge of your seat so you can find that nice neutral pelvis, get more on the sitting bones. And then we'll bring the flexed right ankle over the knee. So open our hips some here. So flex all the toes back, pinky toes, big toe. And as you inhale, sit up tall, really lengthen up out of the low back. Try to spread your sitting bones wide on your seat. And you may be staying here, or maybe you're hinging forward a little bit. Contain the knee and the heel. Inhale as you lengthen up through the spine, the crown of the head lengthens up. Either stay here or fold, really track your whole exhale to its finish. As your jaw, tongue relaxes. A few more breaths. It may even make sense for you to kind of move a little bit here. And with your next inhale, we'll sit up tall and gently release. Switch, flex the left ankle, take that ankle up on the knee, contain the heel and the knee. And as you inhale, try to tip the pelvis so you're right on the sitting bones. Spread the seat wide, either stay tall or maybe you're leaning from the hips. We're not just rounding the back there. If that's where it's coming from, we want that movement to come more down towards the hips if you're coming forward. More deep breaths here. Maybe connecting to that inner smile inside, maybe a real smile. Your baby here, smiling down to your baby. And then inhale, come on up. Extend your legs forward, draw the kneecaps up, give your legs a little shake. And then do this next part, either stay sitting if that's comfortable for you or stand up. Let's roll the shoulders back, reach the arms out, and begin to take some little circles of the arms. This first little bit, we'll do a little bit of strengthening exercise for the upper body. So whether you're sitting or standing, make sure that you're not being tipped forward. So keep the seat grounded, keep the baby belly gently drawing back. If you're standing, micro bend in the knees. You may even be kind of swaying here. Shoulder blades gliding down the back. And then take those little circles forward. Stay with your breath. This may get a little challenging in a moment if it's not already. And we'll go big circles one way. And try to isolate this movement only in your arms, shoulders. So a lot of times for me, as it gets hard, I start noticing my whole body wants to move. But try to keep the rest of your body as stable as you can, aside from these little movements that you may be doing standing up. Oops, my circles got small for a moment. Almost there. Now let's go the other direction. This is our last bit. Stay with it, stay with your breath. Stay soft in your focus, in your mind. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Okay, so from here, we'll do some wall push-ups. If you have a wall nearby, we're doing 2 sets. So you'll have an option to do one on the floor if you'd like as well. So at the wall, let's spread our fingers wide, hands shoulder distance apart. Wrist crease is parallel to where the ceiling meets the wall. You can play with it. I like my hands a few inches lower than my shoulders. Okay, I'm imagining I'm squeezing a block between the forearms, and the further out you walk your feet, the more intense of a push-up this is. So feel out what you need. We want to hug the baby back, so we don't want our back arching a lot here, but hug the baby back, a little tuck of the bottom, back of the neck long, and as we inhale down, draw your shoulder blades in towards each other, and then exhale, press up. Okay, maybe 5 to 9 more. Claw the wall with your finger pads. Okay, so the wall is a really great way to watch form, a nice place to see if we've collapsed through the core, our center, if our head has collapsed. Maybe 3 more. 2 and 1. Great. So from here, either come into a kind of goddess or horse pose on your chair, or if you have a ball nearby, you can use your ball here. Okay. So on the ball, we'll be in the same position. And on the ball, you can bounce a little bit. Okay. We're not cranking out the knees as wide as we can, whether you're on chair or ball. Just let this be pretty comfortable. Okay, and we'll add some more arms here. So on your ball, you may just be doing a simple little bounce, or feel free to add some kind of circular movements. Okay, so whichever one you're doing, let's roll the shoulders back. We'll take the arms up at any angle. So your shoulders are too tight to come up this high, then come down a little bit. Try to keep your shoulders back. And now we're opening and closing the fist. Bringing some nice circulation through the arms, the fingers, if there is some swelling happening for you. And these movements may be very fast or maybe slower. Okay. So notice your breath here. We're going to be doing this for at least another minute, maybe a little bit triggering. And just like you did with the arm circles, make sure your posture is okay here. So gently hugging the baby back, shoulder blades gliding down the back. And now the next minute, let's be quiet. Go inside unless you need a moan with your breath or something. Definitely exhale. Moan or exhale through the mouth. Be with the breath, full inhalations, full grounding exhalations. Maybe a half smile. Practice another 30 seconds. We can do this. And beautiful, release arms down, roll the shoulders a few times. Good, roll your neck a few times, side to side. Good, and then from here, let's lean forward, feel the feet on the ground, toes spreading, and stand up. Okay, so we're doing that last set of push-ups. So either position yourself at the wall again, or if you'd like to do them on the floor, take the hands a few inches out in front of the shoulders, and just like we did at the wall, hug baby up. Scoop the bottom a little bit. Fingers spreading wide. And as you're ready, inhale down any amount. Draw the shoulder blades in towards each other. Try to keep it nice and slow this round. Go a little bit slower than the last round. Inhaling down, exhaling up. Imagine you're squeezing a block between the forearms. Maybe 3 or 4 more if you need a little half dog in between. You could even do this at the wall. And then continue. And wonderful. When you're done, we'll walk back. If you're on the floor, let's come back up to the wall. So step 1 foot forward and then step the other foot forward. And for this one, we'll use the wall to strengthen the backs of our legs a little bit. We're really just keep ourselves, we're trying to maintain some strength that we already had going into pregnancy. So here we'll keep the feet a little bit wider than the hips, feet parallel. We'll use the wall for balance. We'll come up high on the tippy toes. We're squeezing the calves. We're squeezing the hamstrings. We're lengthening the buttocks down a little bit and then lower the heels back down. We're doing that again, coming up. You really want to try to squeeze the hamstrings and lengthen the buttocks down. So we're not just strengthening the calves here. We'll keep going. We can inhale up, exhale down, or breathe, whichever way feels the best for you. And even here, imagine as you're moving that you're squeezing a block between your shins. So you get a little bit of tone up through the inner legs into the inner thighs. We'll go 10, 9, 8, 7. Even here, keep drawing baby back a little bit, tailbone scoops. 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll hold and then slowly lower. Wonderful. So stay at the wall. Let's stretch our toes and calves a little bit here. We're leaning into the wall. Take your left foot back. First, just stretch the toes. Bring the heel up to the ceiling. Maybe kind of sway your heel side to side. And then get a position, kind of like a warrior position here. So right foot is stable, a little bend in the knee. And then we're reaching, I move my blanket. And then we're reaching the one heel straight back to stretch out the back of the leg now. Continue here to gently draw the baby up. Gaze is forward. Nice slow deep breaths. And just put a little bend in that left knee to stretch that different part of your calf. And then we'll switch. So one other foot forward. Take the little bend in the knee. Oh, we'll do the toes first. So bring the heel up and kind of rock your heels side to side to get under the pinky toes and the big toes. And then bring the heel straight back with a bend through the front knee. Slow, deep breaths. And then put a little bend in the right or the whichever leg is back, a little bend in that knee. Good. And while we're here, let's take an L pose. So keep the hands about as high as your hips on the wall, higher. If that feels too low, take the feet as wide as you need. Try to keep the feet parallel, a bend in the knees, and then push your hips back. Take your ears between the arms. You may even sway the hips a little bit, side to side. Keep it fluid. Notice your breath. And then we'll bring the gaze up and come on up. Wonderful. So from here, either squat again on your chair or squat with your ball, either one. Grab your strap or whatever you have, your belt, your swaddle, your stretchy pants. We're coming back to that squat. Now we'll keep opening our shoulders and chest a little bit. So lift up through the arms. Keep the neck relaxed, the gaze forward, and then slide your hands apart and let the arms move all the way back. Let go of one side and repeat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands slide apart. Make sure to not overly arch your back here. So keep the back fairly stable. Baby hugged in. We'll keep going. Lift up and slowly back. Release with the opposite side. So you want to slide your hands apart wide enough so that you can keep your arms straight and it doesn't feel like a huge strain here. Good. And now either keep letting go behind you, or if it's feeling nice in your shoulders, then come back up and forward. Keep going that way. You may keep the hands wide, or as the shoulders keep opening, your hands may get a little closer in towards each other. Okay, really good movements for after the baby comes, with all the holding of the baby, feeding of the baby for partner too. Any caregiver that's going to be holding the baby a lot. And we'll go last one or two. Wonderful. And then release your strap. Now let's find our way onto your chair. And from here, we're sitting on the chair. Let's bring your right leg out to the side, like the front leg of a warrior two or goddess, ankle under the knee. And then I'm lengthening the left leg back. Now this knee doesn't have to be straight. It's okay if it needs to be bent, so feel it out. But if you're able to straighten it and that feels okay, do it. Okay, so kind of warrior two here. We're not going for the same alignment as we normally would. So we're just opening out this knee in line with the toes. This leg bends or straight. Tailbone slightly tucks. Let's inhale, lift up. And either bring your right hand to the knee or bring the forearm down. We'll just take one circle. Sweep the left arm back and around. And then either keep the left arm up by the ear with the palm facing down, or cactus this arm. Let your chest roll open. Take a nice breath, really stretch through the fingertips. So a nice way to still get the energy of these shapes, the opening, without maybe the strain on our bodies as we are about to give birth. And then come on up. Good. And now we'll take the other side. So you may want to position yourself, scooch a little bit, and we'll line up this left ankle under the knee and either keep this knee bent if that's what you feel like you need, or you may start to straighten that leg. And then try to even your seat out as much as you can. And then reach the arms up. Either bring the left hand to your knee or bring the forearm down. Let's take one big circle with this right arm. Then either keep the right arm up by the ear with the palm facing down or cactus that arm. Let your chest roll open. A nice big breath. Exhale fully. And with a nice big inhale, come on up. Beautiful. And then we'll bring the legs back in. Okay. So from here, we'll widen the legs again for a squat. So either stay here for what we're about to do. You could be adding the arms that we may add. Okay, adding any arms here. Or if you wanted to strengthen the legs a little bit more, if that's what you're feeling today, then we're going to stand up and down. So you may want to, in that case, make your stride a little less wide. So if we're going there, we'll lean forward and stand up. Okay. And then we're going to slide down, try to just barely tap your bottom on your chair, and then stand back up. Okay, squeezing the legs. We're sitting down, just barely tap bottom on the chair. You can keep the arms sliding up and down, or maybe your inhale reaching up. Exhale, hands to baby, as we just barely tap the bottom on the chair. Inhale up. Exhale, tap. And we'll do a few more. 5. 4. Good. 3. 2. And last one. And there we go. If you're standing up, stand up if you can, and just give your legs a little shake. Good, and then sit back onto your chair, turn to your left, grab onto the back of your chair, and we'll slide this right foot back, knee down towards the floor. So maybe staying here, gently lengthening the bottom down, drawing the baby back. Even a hand on the baby belly could be nice. Or if you're able to, you could grab this ankle foot, really shoot the knee down, roll the shoulders back. If this isn't working out on your chair, you could lie down on your side, as we've done in previous videos, and grab the top leg. Take another breath or two. And then gently release the foot if you have it. We'll turn to the other side. So wiggle that left foot back. You may be staying here, little tuck of the bottom. Or if you're able to, grab the foot, shoot the knee down, and then bring that little tuck through the bottom, shoulders roll back. Go ahead, and then from here, release the foot if you have it. Turn back forward. Stand up, lean forward, and stand up. One more thing. Well, not one more thing, but another thing with your chair. So we'll take your right foot up to the chair, ankle under the knee, left foot facing straight forward. Okay, we're gonna move a little bit here. So either bring the right hand to knee or the forearm. Okay, and then we'll inhale, reach the left arm up any amount. It could be bent or straight. Roll the chest open. And then we're coming on up. Put a bend in your standing knee. Slide the hand down. Slide your right hand up mid inner thigh. Use the heel of your hand to roll the thigh back. Push the thigh back. So we're really starting to stretch through that right outer hip buttocks. You're trying to stick your seat out. Breathe into that right seat. And we're going to come back up. Inhale, lift up. So we're going to be going back and forth in between those two. Come on out. Bend the standing knee. Try to internally rotate the right thigh. Come back up. Lift up. And back into that stretch. Really reaching the seat back. Go one more time. Up. And then down. You may want to hold this a breath. And then gently stand up. Okay, keep the left hip from coming forward. We'll take this like a tree pose. Either bring both hands to the baby belly, or maybe bring a hand to your heart. Give yourself and your baby a mindful breath. Also a great way to open up through both sides of the pelvis here, especially if one side is a little closed or tight. And then we'll release. So something else you could also try in labor or before labor, if there was any sign that things were stalling or that baby needed to shift a little bit. Okay, so we'll set up the other side, ankle under the knee, right foot forward, and either take the hand to the knee or the forearm down, and then reach the right arm up, roll the heart open. And we'll come on up. Slide the hand down the knee. Slide the right heel of the hand mid inner thigh. We're trying to roll the thigh down and push your seat back. Reach back through your left buttocks. And then we'll gently come on up. Reach up. Make sure that right thigh doesn't come forward. And then we're coming up, hand to knee. Internally rotate that left thigh. And we're coming back up. We're just moving very slowly, gently. And last time here. Feel free to hold it an extra breath. And then stand on up. So it would be this kind of more mild position you'd be trying out in labor if you were trying it. So either bring a hand to heart, hand to baby. You may be kind of doing a little bit of lungy type movements here. Just listen to what feels helpful in your body, what feels useful. It may be just still and opening through the region, or maybe adding that movement. Take a mindful breath here. And then gently open the eyes, help your leg down. Good, a little side stepping here. Great, so we'll do a little bit of squatting before we hit the floor. I like to squat with a blanket under my heels. You may not need that. Okay, so I'm rolling up my blanket. I'm gonna take my heels on the blanket, feet wide. And I'm gonna use the chair here for squatting. So I'll bring my hands on the chair and then I'll begin to slowly lower the seat down. And then I can either stay here if you're feeling like you want to move up and down, lean forward and stand up. Okay, hands to chair, slowly squat down, maybe a little swaying side to side. You may like to use the chair, or you may be fine to use the knees. We'll do a few more, either holding it down or moving up and down. It may be that on at this stage in pregnancy, on the knees or hips, it may not feel good to go up and down. So you may need to stay still or just take a simple butterfly posture, seated on the floor with the soles of your feet together. If this just isn't feeling like a good idea for you right now, you know that. Otherwise, we'll hold or take 3 more. And then let's hold, unless you've been holding a long time and you need to come out. We'll try some breathing with horse lips. So we'll take a big breath in and relax around your lips and go. Relax around your inner thighs, pelvic floor. Let's take 2 more. And the easiest way for you to do so, make your way out of your squat. And let's sit on a blanket. Maybe your roll is even fine if your roll is still there. And we'll take the legs wide, fingertips reaching back, shoulders back. Either stay here or you may start to walk in. If your chair is there like mine is, you may start to lean onto the chair, maybe even rest your head down. And we'll just be here for a minute or so. So we don't want your blanket roll like overly tipping forward like it's doing for me right now. So if that's happening for you, you may need to scooch back a little bit or sit on the floor or another more flat kind of a blanket. Or if you tend to really round in your low back, the roll may be helpful to help you unround a little bit. So we all have very different bodies that we're working with. And we'll take a few more breaths here. Take a few exhales through your mouth. Let your tongue hang out. Let the pelvic floor and the inner thighs relax. And these last few breaths, play with as you exhale. Draw your baby belly back a little bit, but really relax through the pelvic floor. So with the blueberry exercise, if you've done that in other sessions with me, you're exhaling, you're pushing that blueberry out a little bit, but your baby belly is going to be hugging back. Okay. Maybe similar to how one may push out a baby is by softening through the pelvic floor, but still kind of drawing the abdominals back a little bit. Tongue relaxed. So try a few more of those nice, easy inhales. You exhale, baby belly draws back, and pelvic floor relaxes. Tongue and jaw relax. And then as your exhale completes, we'll slowly come on up and slide the hands under the knees to help the legs up. Okay, and before we rest, we're going to take a little bit of a stabilizing posture here. So we're taking Virasana. So if your chair is here, just leave it because we may use that for the final posture. For Virasana, come onto your knees, bring the knees almost touching, widen the heels, iron your calves back, and take a seat in between your heels on whatever you need. A block or two, spread the seat, spread your toenails. If you're feeling tension through the knees, more height. If the seat just doesn't work for you, then take another one. Okay, we'll roll the shoulders back, find a little tuck through the chin. Take some just simple mindful breaths here. Inhaling, you can imagine you're breathing in through the center of your eyebrows. Exhaling all the way, all the exhale out. Relax the face and the jaw. Breathing in between the eyebrows, deep inside of the head, all the way down to your baby. Exhale, we're softening, dropping into the body. More breaths here. And if you open the eyes here, keep a soft internal focus. If you're able to walk the hands back, so we're on our fingertips facing the side. We'll give ourselves just a little back bend here. Roll the shoulders back. Expand the chest up towards the chin. Energetically press the hands away from each other to expand up into the chest. Can walk the hands back as far as it feels good to you. Go ahead, and from here we'll slowly come on up. Set up for final rest. So to come out, come back into table, gently stretch one leg back at a time, draw the kneecap up, and switch. And for this one, either rest on your side with pillows, blankets in between the knees and ankles, something under your head for a pillow. So either on the side, or I'll guide us into legs on our chair. Okay. So if you're on a hard floor like me, definitely set up something to pad under your bottom. Okay. And then take your bolster or firm couch cushion and put either your 1 or 2 blocks to incline you up. Okay, something for your head for a little neck roll traction. And then depending on how much you're inclined, I'm at a pretty good incline with my 2 blocks here. So I'm also going to put something under each arm. Could be a pillow or more blankets or blocks. Or if you're just using 1 block as an incline, you may not need the extra support under the arms. Okay, and then sit comfortably in front of your bolster. And we're trying to get our legs. This is really nice on a couch too, if you want to take your legs up on a couch or another kind of a chair. We're trying to get that close enough where we can, the backs of our knees are supported, depending on your kind of chair and everything. That may not work, so we're just doing the best with what we have. And then scrunch up a little roll under your neck. Okay, and then let the arms relax, shoulders move back. So this little bit of elevation may be helping if we're experiencing any kind of swelling in the legs. And it also helps with our circulation through the legs, just like a lot of things that we've done today. But it should feel nice. If it doesn't feel good to you, then find a position that does. So maybe you're coming out and either relaxing the legs in a butterfly position or resting on your side. What's most important here is that you can give yourself some time to really wind down. Allow yourself to slowly begin to drop into your body. Drop all of your weight, bones, skin, everything in your body. Drop it onto your props, the floor. Breath is natural and easy here. And stay here resting. I will still be resting too, even if it gets quiet. Know that I'm still here resting. It's important to take these times of rest. Our bodies are experiencing so much right now. They're working so hard. We're carrying probably a lot of extra weight, a lot more than we're used to. We have a pretty big journey ahead. This be a time of self-care. It doesn't have to look any way. That doesn't mean it's easy either. Self-care is a skill as well. If you have more time, let yourself continue to rest here another 5 or 10 minutes. If you're out of time, try to give yourself 10 more mindful breaths before you come out.